Hi there, I'm Miles Peterson, and you're watching The 3D Engineer. Today I built an open-air tornado simulator, or OATS as some may call it. My machine uses an ultrasonic fogger and fans to create a very stable vortex in open air. Today I'm going to be showing you how I put it together and how you can build your own. I have built a tornado siren. Hello YouTube, this is me, Miles Peterson again. Hope the neighbor isn't confused out of his mind. I got it! This is going to be horribly loud. This is my Federal Signal SCL-10 siren. Okay, we are going on now. Okay, it's on. New tornado sirens. An open-air tornado simulator is a great way to understand the physics behind tornadoes and how vortexes form. Right now we have a very stable vortex in there. It's pretty beautiful. It's very fun to watch it form and deform. Comes again every time. I believe if I fire this up from the top of the fan, you can actually see the eye of the tornado. Whew. And, oh, there it is. There's the eye right there. There it is moving around. That's the eye. That's the eye of this tornado. You can clearly see in that middle column right there. Very cool. Now, if we really want to get an understanding on how this works, we'll have to shut it down. Now that the open-air tornado simulator is offline, we can now get a better understanding on how it actually works. So get ready. Alright, we can now take the entire top of the machine off. Water. Alright, so now we got the inside of the machine exposed. Alright, now that we are on the inside of the machine, we can now get a better understanding on how it actually works. Since it's pretty complicated, I'm going to try to make this as simple as possible. So let's just start with the simplest. Right here we have this cable going through a little notch that I cut out here. This part is actually part of the 3D file, so when you print it out, it should come out with a little notch that most foggers can clip into. Then it has another notch that goes into this bowl, and this is actually waterproof. I've had this bowl full of water for days straight, and it has not leaked. Of course, I don't recommend having water in there for days straight, as it could potentially leak in certain areas, but mine is not leaking, so I guess I just got lucky. Here is probably the most important part of the whole machine, the fogger. Actually, the machine works just fine without the fogger, but if you want to see the vortex, you have to inject particles into it. So this pretty much produces the needed mist to see the fog tornado. Now we can move on to the fans. Now it'll make a little more sense when I take this bowl out. It actually is a removable dish. There we go. You can see the little notch that it was resting in, and that's very important because it keeps it straight and centered. Now we can see the fan I have back there. It is a little Intel fan, and I actually have another fan here that is the same size as it. If I grab my caliper, it is a 60 by 60 fan, and 24 millimeters tall. And from there it goes down to these controls, and we'll get to that in a second. Now remember when I said this is going to get complicated? Yeah, it's getting complicated. Right here we have a barrel jack going in to 12 volts, hooked up to this toggle switch. This is a red LED toggle switch, but any toggle switch will work. I found this one at a nearby Radio Shack, actually. Here's the inflow and updraft controls. You can see that I have 2 potentiometers and 2 switches. Very important if you want to control the fans. Right there is my motor speed controller. It consists of 4 transistors, diodes, and resistors. You absolutely have the option of just buying one online, but I decided to build my own since I had the materials available. Basically what it does is it makes it really easy to fine-tune the fans for a very strong vortex. The orange cable runs from the speed controller all the way up to the fans and the lights for upper control. The wire nuts are removable, so if I need to take the entire top of this off, I absolutely can, by just simply unscrewing the wire nuts and screwing them back in when ready. Right here is simply the light switch. It controls the light up there. It's actually an LED strip light, and of course runs off of 12 volts. I now have the top of the machine on again, and now you can see the bottom fan starts to rotate. I can feel the air blowing through the hole. Normally I'd have the bowl in there with the fogger, so it would stop the air from coming out through that central hole. But now you can see the fan, and basically what it does is that when it's on, it pressurizes the box, which means it forces the box with high velocity air. And from there it goes up to these 1/2-inch pipes that I spray painted black. I used a 7/64 hex drill bit with 1-inch spacing to keep things simple. What I did was I simply grabbed a ruler and just marked hole every 1 inch and drilled on those holes. It is important to note that having a hole very close to the bottom like this is absolutely necessary for a vortex to form. You need that bottom shear to really produce the rotation it needs to produce. So that's something important to note. Near the top of my machine, I have this final fan. This I call the updraft fan because it produces the needed updraft for the vortex to form. This is an 80 by 80 by 40 millimeter fan, standard size. It is a Nidec brand fan, runs off 12 volts. For the pipe closest to the light switch, I decided to run a 12 volt LED light strip across the whole pipe, as well as wires to the updraft fan. You will have to run wires up to the top fan if you want to produce a vortex at all. I just attached tape on the side of the pipes, making sure not to cover the holes. The holes are facing this direction. As for these two black things that you're probably questioning by now, these are just blockers, basically, to keep wind out of the vortex chamber. It can increase stability and make it a lot easier to see the vortex, especially with a bright light shining on it with a black backdrop. I have one more small detail that I would like to mention before I wrap this section up, and that is the fogger. We see that it does work and it's generating the fog we need to see the tornado, and that's great, but it splashes everywhere, and I don't like that. It also makes the vortex very messy. So, helps to put this piece in. All this does is stop the splashing of the fogger and provide a flat surface for the tornado to form on. I noticed that having the tornado directly above the fog bowl was a bad idea because it was not flat, and there's a big gaping hole in the middle where the fog comes out. So, I think it's pretty important to add this. Now, with the fog running and the controls ready, we have our beautiful tornado. There it is. Here's a very good shot of it. You can see rotation on the bottom. That's that bottom shear. And the strong updraft of the top fan. Nice. We're getting a stable vortex now that I've put that little part on. So this is a great little science project to help you understand the physics behind tornadoes and vortexes. I think it was very fun to put together. Fun fact, a couple days ago from this video, it actually won a science fair. So that just proves how pretty cool it is. So this brings us to the end of the video, and I hope you enjoyed. Overall, printing out my open air tornado simulator was very fun. Printing the parts were easy. What was not easy was prototyping, coming up with a plan, and finding solutions. But you guys don't have to worry about that. All you gotta do is just print it out. The electronics, they're pretty easy to get my hands on. Standard size potentiometers, panel mount. We got panel mount sub-mini toggle switches, a regular big size toggle switch. This is like the ones in old cars. And this rocker switch for the LED strip lights. As for the black background, you can use really anything. I used foam board, you can use poster board, or even cardboard, as long as it is a darker color and can withstand a bit of moisture, you're good to go. As for the fans, I would order them online, as they are available on Amazon and sources like that. And the fogger I got off Amazon. So, a quick Amazon shopping trip, a couple trips to the hardware store, and some black filament can get you somewhere to this. I hope you enjoyed, and please consider subscribing as that would help us here out on the channel. I'm Miles Peterson, and you stay creative. There it is. Little death noodle. Little noodle tornado. Very pretty. Ha, there's the rope. That is so cool.